Hi, and welcome to the second part of the reading. If you haven't watched the first one, it might be worth your while going back. I'm pulling in the energy of the Great Reset. I'm looking at the placement that's happening on the 7th of the 7th, where Uranus is going into Gemini. Now, the last time that happened, we saw the bomb being dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It is a huge, huge reset, and I was pulling through the energy of clocks. So I got the song Hickory Dickory Dock and pulled through the energy, which is all these cards that you can see, the symbolism around that particular nursery rhyme and how it aligns with what's happening at the moment. But the second song that I got was 0 O'Clock, which is a BTS song. So I'm going to, because it was too big to do in one reading, I'm actually going to pull through the energy of that particular song in this reading. I'm just going to pop this up here for now, and then I'll see what else wants to come through. So as I said, it might be worth your while going back and having a look at that reading. Okay, so as I said in the previous reading, I was getting the card, the Chariot, the Lovers, the Devil card. I was talking about the fact that I had a spray of orchids. There was 7 flowers on it and 2 had fallen off. And pulling through this energy of something needing to change. There's a timer on a clock. So the song Hickory Dickory Dock was presumably about the clock tower in Exeter Cathedral. Now that cathedral was built in 1114, so 911 years ago. 9 times 11 is 99. This year is 999. The 9th of the 9th, 2025 adds up to a 9. It's the 999 portal this year. That hasn't happened since 2016. Now, the clock itself was made and installed in 1484. So 541 years old, which adds up to a 10, which is the end. The Great Reset. So you might be moving on. A new home, if you think about that song 0 O'Clock, it's about midnight. It's the end of one day and the start of something new. It's a reset. And that particular clock is not just a clock that measures the hour, it actually measures the moon. And we did have the moon in that reading before. So something that you have to tap into, because the moon is what's hidden. This is the High Priestess card here. Something that you're tapping into in order to get this great reset. The High Priestess is what's hidden. So what I was looking at was the symbolism in and around the songs. So the first song was Hickory Dickory Dock. The next song is 0 O'Clock, which is a BTS song. And I'm going to get a card. An angel card for that song. Do I want to pull? I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to take these away. Give me a second. Because I'm kind of being overloaded by information. But I'm not going to shuffle because it's the same energy. Because it's the second part of the same message. Liberation, thankfulness, a reset that will actually liberate you. Compass. Just give me a second. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. A bit about me first. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I pick up on energy prior to a reading. All of my readings are timeless. Whenever you stumble across this reading, you are meant to find it. All of the decks that I use on my channel are my own designs because I am also an illustrator. You can see my illustrations on the covers of all of the artwork. And today I'm using 5 new decks that I've just created. Okay, so let's get the energy. 0 O'Clock. 40, consolation and comfort. Justice, truth and freedom. Again, I think, I don't know if it came through in the last reading. No, the reading before. The Eight of Swords, which is the current placement at the moment. The Eight of Swords is there through until the 9th of June. It's the 2nd of June today. It's about a release. And it's swords, so it's mental, a mental release. Consolation and comfort number 40 is the Page of Cups. Sometimes the Page of Cups is an apology. Sometimes it is a hidden love. 0 o'clock. If you want to know about these angels, just do a Google search on them. Pages and pages and pages of information. So this particular angel frees prisoners, provides consolation, and gives deliverance from your enemies. Governs printing and books and is able to influence professors, teachers and artists. Soul guardian for those born 1 p.m. to 1:20 p.m. Moral guardian for those born the 28th of April, the 9th of July, the 19th of September, the 30th of November and the 10th of February, and the physical guardian for those born the 1st to the 5th of October. And this guy is about the courts of law. This angel can be called upon against those who seek to usurp the fortunes of others, governs justice, truth and liberty, delivers the oppressed and protects prisoners. So 2 cards of prisoners. Soul guardian for those born 4:20 a.m. to 4:40 a.m. Moral guardian for those born the 2nd of April, the 13th of June. How interesting. The 24th of August, the 4th of November and the 5th of January. And look at that. June 13. Physical guardian for those born the 24th to the 28th of May. Okay, now 0 o'clock is a BTS song, and BTS's anniversary is June 13. That's crazy. And there is story within story within story about that. A journey, the great reset, the clock of frustration, and true love on the bottom. Okay. Oh, do I want to pick that up? That's my grandmother deck. Oh, I was just guided to pick it up. What have we got? Something being woven, stitched back together. That's knitting, stitched back together. I want to stitch back together by the grandmothers. Stitch back together. That was on her dressing table in her bedroom. This is my Gwen deck. Gwen was my grandmother. And after she passed away, I had all of her things photographed so that everybody could have a little piece of her, because obviously with lots of children and lots of grandchildren, great-grandchildren, you know, things were being looked over by Mary. Give me a second, I just want to look at something. So Gwen means fair, justice, fair, the great reset. Okay, I'm going to go through, I'm going to give you the background story about this song, 0 o'clock, which has actually been coming through on repeat. I always have my songs on random shuffle, and it's just coming through. I've got 4,000 songs on there. So, you know, the chance that it's coming through multiple times on random shuffle means that there's a message in it. Now, it started coming through Mother Mary. It started coming through around the 10th of May. When was Mother's Day? My husband and I were out hunting for a property, and we'd been to all of these open houses, and we'd finally found this property. And I'm very big into numbers and synchronicities and messages within messages. If you've watched my readings, you would know that. And this 7/7 number coming through all the time. I hold High Priestess energy. I pick up on things before they happen. At the time, they don't make sense. The message is coming through, and I've just learned to go with it. Now, that was the message that was coming through in the previous reading, the Hickory Dickory Dock, because I had the High Priestess card. It's just about going, okay, there's something in this, and I just need to go with it. My husband and my number is number 8. Our birthdays add up to an 8. The date that we got married was an 8, like so many 8 references. And we were in a hurry to get to this viewing, this listing, this open home. And so I didn't really take any notice of number of the apartment or the number of the building or anything like that until we'd put an offer in. And as we came down into the lobby, the building was called the Infinity Building, which is the number 8. Now, for me personally, my reference to my own name, I've been married 25 years, which adds up to a 7. And I was my maiden name for 25 years, which adds up to a 7. That in biblical reference is the number 77, which aligns with the word Uz or Oz. And I live in Australia, the land of Oz. But it also aligns with the biblical text or the biblical story of Jacob and Rachel. Now, Jacob wrestled with God at the age of 77. And then he met Rachel. He worked for 7 years in order to marry her. And then he was tricked and then had to work for another 7. So there's 7, 7. So I've been married 25 years, which is a 7. But I was 25 years as my maiden name. And my maiden name was Rachel Jacob. So we left the building and I realised that the street number added up to a 7. And then I said to my husband, what was the apartment number? And it added up to a 777. So we've got 4 7s. As part of my birthday gift this year, I'm 49 also. 7 by 7 is 49. Lots of 7s. And I've got a whole 7777 playlist of all these 7 synchronicities that are happening in and around the collective at the moment. So as we're heading back to the car, he said to me, I've got a surprise for you. I've ordered you a car for your birthday. Completely random. And me being the control freak that I am, started asking him all these questions. And because we are very in tune, I said to him, if he was going to give me some hybrid vehicle, I said I'd prefer a fully electric vehicle or an EV. We were coming out of the car park and I said, I really like that one there, because there was all these cars lined up on the car charger in the underground car park. So I really like that one there. And he said, well, it's funny you say that, because that's exactly what I've ordered you. Do you want to go to the showroom on the way home? So we did. We went to the showroom and I had a look at this beautiful car that he'd ordered, like completely randomly, not something we would ever do or he would ever do. Anyway, it's called a Sea Line 7. Now, he doesn't tap into any of my readings or anything like that, so has no concept of this 7 number or, that sort of stuff. And we signed the final bits of paperwork and the man said to me, you can either get a government issued number plate or you can choose your own number plate. Just let me know. So on the way home, I was on the website and I was typing in all the different options of number plates. I wanted it to be something that was reflective of me. So have that 77 number in it, because obviously for me, that's who I was. And it was this beautiful gift that my husband, who I've been married to for 25 years, was buying for me. I was 25 years, so 7 years, 25 years as my maiden name and 25 years now as my married name. So this 7-7. There's this huge alignment happening on the 7th of the 7th this year. This Uranus into Gemini, this great reset, and I've been pulling through energy for it. And so I was trying to think of something that meant that, but everything I put in was taken. This number plate choice is not available. This number plate, and so I was getting really frustrated. And I saw, as we were driving home, it was kind of really cloudy, kind of drizzly day. I saw this most beautiful rainbow, and I'm going to show you. So this rainbow, as we're driving home, starts to appear in the sky. And I'm like, okay, decided to give it to God. And I decided to put my songs on random shuffle. I was telling my husband about, this great reset, and put my songs on random shuffle. And I said, I'm gonna let play choose the song. "4:44 was the time. 0 o'clock, which is the great reset. And you can see 10th of May, 4:44. Playing. And I'm like, it's available. So that's my number plate came about. And this song has been on repeat over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I can't get it out of my head. There's a big reset coming. The number 0 in the tarot is the Fool card. It's a new beginning. And for me, in terms of, the car that I drive now, the representation in the number plate is my married surname, as opposed to this new car, which is a representation of maiden name. And if you're driving along and you see me, I don't really care that you know my number plate. According to my husband, my car goes from 0 to 100 in 4.5 seconds. You won't catch me. So the irony here is I watched a clip the other day and it was talking about BTS's Festa, which is the celebration each year of the date that the band was formed, which was June 13. And part of the focus of this Festa is the song 0 o'clock. 444 when that song came through, which is High Priestess energy. It's protective energy, but it's High Priestess energy. And in the first reading of these two readings, the High Priestess came out and it's the card, the angel card 44. Something here about 4-4. 4 and a 4 is an 8. So I decided to put some of these numbers into Gematria just to get a bit more information. So 0, 635 and 384. Now the Fool card is Uranus. It's sudden shocking events. It's earthquake energy. 635, there are no coincidences. Aquarian Messiah, stolen Palestine. Now, 635 in Strong's Concordance, which is a tool that I use to pop this number into the chronological index of all the words used in the Bible. 635th word is Esther. It is hidden. To lead astray or to seduce. 384 is Yahweh, Israel, Zion, chosen, Korean. Awakened, Tito. Now Tito is an uncle, Filipino for uncle. So we're talking about a great reset. Strong's Concordance, God has arrived to upset, to overthrow, to dismantle an enemy. Now, June 13th, which is actually the date because it's been delayed. So my husband came home the other day and said, oh, you're not going to get your car until June 13th. And I'm like, well, that's funny that it's arriving on that day. 613, which is a 10, which is a reset, the great reset, 0 o'clock. In Strong's Concordance, 613 is banned imprisonment, to keep secret, to hide. And apocrypto, which is a hidden currency. In Strong's Concordance, God is knowing and to rise, a spiritual truth. Now my car, which is a sea lion, 215, 450. 215 is poet, Gog and Magog, armies. In Strong's Concordance, shine, light, breath of day, unspeakable. 450 is Esther, which is 0. Friends, Jeffrey, Shekinah, which is the divine feminine. Eternal, Lamb of God, Zayin, which is the number 7. Lights, gag order, and pickles. Now, in a reading that I did 2 days ago, Terra Luna, Morning Star. Esther is known as the Morning Star. She was hidden. Terra Luna is a crypto company. June 13th, hidden currency. Terra Luna is a crypto company. It was a blockchain platform and associated crypto ecosystem and was rebranded in May 2022. So we go back to that original reading about the rat. The other number I was hearing was 747, and it was coming through because of the unit that we bought. The street number added up to a 7, and the unit added up to a 777, so it was 747. She hides the key, Tea Party, 316, which is 613 backwards. Crypto Mike, LVIII, and Ninjago. 747, Leader, Prince. Captain, author, Acts 3:15, 5:31, both add up to an 8. But what was pulling at me was this LVIII. An L is 50, a V is 5, and an I equals 1, so it's 58. And this is where I'm led. This is where I'm telling you that this great reset that you're going through is part of a journey into spiritual enlightenment, a journey into tapping into the internal compass, the messages that you are receiving and following them to your spiritual freedom. You're being guided. All the different 58s in the Bible. Psalm 58, a cry for justice against the corrupt, from the mouth of someone who has suffered under evil and silence. What do we have here? A gag order. A gag order. Sea lion. That's my car. A gag order. Cry aloud, do not hold back. Lift up your voice like a trumpet. Isaiah 58 calls us to free the oppressed. And then Revelation 5:8. Now, a lot of the messages that have been coming through have been tracked back to either Psalms or Revelation. And when he took the scroll, the 4 living beings and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. Lamb of God. Fell down before the Lamb. Each one had a harp, and they had gold bowls filled with incense, which are prayers for God's people. The 4 beasts, the lion, the ox, the man, the eagle, that's judgment. But it goes further. Now, I know that this is going to be wordy, but it's really important because what I'm trying to show you is that messages that you get through everything that happens in your life, your street name, your street number, your grandparents' names, your first name, your middle name, your last name, your maiden name, everything, the name of your car, everything has meaning, and there's hidden messages in everything for you to find, woven into everything. And I'm talking about things that you have no control over. I have no control over the number of that building. I have no control over the unit number. I had no control over a car that somebody bought for me. I had no control over the name I was given and the reference to 77. I have no control over the fact that there was a rainbow in the sky that day. A rainbow is a symbol of a covenant, something that's meant to be. Revelation 58, the scroll and the lamb. I'm just going to read it. And remembering that my car is called the sea lion, I saw a scroll in the right hand of the one who sits on the throne. It was covered by writing on both sides, and it was sealed with 7 seals. My car is a sea lion 7. And I saw a mighty angel who announced in a loud voice, "Who is worthy to break the seal and open the scroll?" But there was no one on heaven or on earth or the world below who could open the scroll and look inside it. I cried bitterly because no one could be found who was worthy to open the scroll or look inside it. Then one of the elders said to me, "Don't cry. Look, the Lion from Judah's tribe, the great descendant of David, has won the victory, and he can break the 7 seals and open the scroll." The Lion and the 7 seals. Sea Lion 7. Then I saw a lamb standing in the center of the throne, surrounded by 4 living creatures and the elders. The lamb appeared to have been killed, so somebody's been sacrificed. It had 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God that had been sent through the whole earth. The lamb went and took the scroll from the right hand of the one who sits on the throne. As he did so, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. Each had a harp and gold bowls filled with incense, which are prayers for God's people. Now, that's Revelation 5. Revelation 6 is called the seals. The Lamb breaks open the 7 seals. Now, I'm not going to go into it, but what I would say to you is when you are guided to information, I thought it was crazy. It made sense, the Great Reset, putting 0 as the number or the word on my number plate. No idea of the relevance. I just was obedient. This is about tapping into what you are guided to tap into, because it's all woven. Great reset. Sorrow. I've come to realize that losing something is like hitting the refresh button. That's a great reset. Giving me a shiny new perspective to treasure it all over again. An achievement. I'm aware that no aspiration surpasses the boundless power of love. I yearn to elevate the horizons of my consciousness and broaden the realms of my awareness, spiritual awareness. That's what we're looking at. Okay, let us get an energy. Do I want one of those? Yes. A collective energy. The Five of Cups. The Great Reset. It's a new beginning. Recognizing that to stay looking in the past means you're only looking at disappointment. You actually need to turn and face the future. Eight of Wands, it's here now. It's the Great Reset. And we've got the Ace of Cups on the bottom, which is a spiritual awakening that you're about to go through, or that you're in the process of going through. So this is the collective energy. What wanted to come out there. And it's popped back in. Okay, maybe you're a bit reluctant. Oh no, Page of Pentacles. It's a card of the student. You're already getting information. The Ten of Pentacles. That's the soul. It's not the soul. That's what's happening in the 3D. Getting information about where you want to build. The Eight of Pentacles, where you want to build, where you want to put the hard work in, and where you potentially put it in before and you've been burnt. Just said, Lemire, you've burnt me once before. That's Beauty and the Beast, where you've been burnt. The Two of Wands. That's the message from the man upstairs. It's new plans. You're being given a golden opportunity to have a big reset, to put the odometer on the car back to 0. The Four of Wands on the bottom. I don't know why I did that, because I still need to pull another card. I'm going to put that there. The Four of Wands is the celebration at the end of the journey. Six of Pentacles on the bottom. It's a reset. Six of Pentacles is divine balance. Six of Pentacles is the moon in Taurus. We just had the moon in Taurus. Wow, look at that. Wheel of Fortune. 777. Which is the unit I bought. The Ten of Cups. You're being guided. Look at that. Balance, balance. You got lovely cards. What's that? Yeah, you're being guided. Six of Swords. That's divinely guided. You are being divinely guided. Ace of Wands. Eight of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Anything? The Queen of Wands. Standing in your power. The Queen of Wands is somebody, when the Queen of Wands is balanced, it's somebody who makes sound, rational decisions. It's fire energy. So sometimes fire can kind of charge in, charge out, or make a decision on impulse. But because we've got balanced energy here in the 3D, it means that the decisions that you are making in your soul are balanced. And we've got Pentacle card there. They're grounded. The Two of Wands. The plans that you are making with the man upstairs. The Moon. Maybe you don't know the outcome. Maybe you're hoping for a reset. Nine of Pentacles, which is Saturn in Capricorn. Justice. You're hoping for justice. Justice, truth, freedom. Judgment. Yeah, it's happening now. It is literally happening now. And the Four of Wands on the bottom. I'm going to go back because I just want to check. I just want to check. So in that Revelation 58 or 5:8, it's only one person that can open. So it's almost like your Akashic records. There's only one person that can open your Akashic records, which is everything that's led up until this point. But in order to do it, you have to learn to see things with your spiritual eye. Because what does it say? The great descendant of David has won the victory, and he can break the 7 seals and open the scroll, which means you've got the key. A cry for justice against the corrupt from the mouth of someone who has suffered under evil and silence. Calls to free the oppressed. Okay. True love, potentially true love to yourself. Okay, let me get you a moon. Full moon in Aries, it's time to juggle spirituality and practicality like a cosmic circus act. So Aries is the Emperor energy, and Aries is, Emperor energy is about a combination, a balanced Emperor is a combination of charging forward, but doing it with wisdom. Changes on the horizon, the Great Reset. Okay, what do I want to get? Let me have a look. Let's get a song. Now, these are love songs, but I don't want to miss a thing. Don't want to close my eyes, don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, baby, and I don't want to miss a thing. That's from the movie Armageddon. Again, a great reset. There was a huge, big asteroid hurtling towards the Earth. Do or die. Might be something in that movie. Strangers in the night. Might feel very foreign and true, Spandau Ballet. It might feel very foreign wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, completely different to where you have been. This is the sound of my soul. I bought a ticket to the world, but now I've come back again. Why do I find it hard to write the next line? Oh, I want the truth to be said. Justice, truth, and freedom. Oh, bring me to life. How can you see into my eyes like open doors, leading you down into my core where I've become so numb? Without a soul, my spirit sleeping, somewhere cold until you find it there and lead it back home. I'm going to get just a card from here. Okay, that's perfect. So this is, that's the Library of Artemis. That's in Ephesus. That's one of the 7 ancient wonders of the world. And that's where Revelations was written. Off the coast of Greece. Well, off the coast of Turkey, actually. But that's a library. I was talking about your Akashic library. Tapping into your Akashic library. We've got mother and child there again. That's a little mosaic painting in this tiny, tiny little street in Athens. We were just walking down the street, and this little tiny church, it probably would have fit 3 people in it. It was that small. It was like the size of a minivan. It was so small, and it had this little grotto. And I mean, it was tiny in terms of height. It was obviously just this little church that you would maybe just go in to say a prayer in. But it was spiritual. It was just beautiful. I'm going to get, now where are they? Because we've got Mother Mary twice here. Almond, a symbol of divine favor. Feast of the Immaculate Conception, December 8th. And Feast of Our Lady of Sorrows, September 15. So, frustration, sorrow, but new life. And it's coming through to you as a divine blessing, a divine favor. It's coming through to you as an eternal loving in heaven. There's some grandma energy here, being watched over from heaven. Holy Spirit, divine connection. Wow. Okay, I'm going to get you 3 final cards. They'll be very, very spiritual here. Truth. Archangel Michael, Sword of Truth. The 5 of Pentacles. There's a truth coming about. There's a truth coming out about how you've been held captive. And maybe it's a truth within yourself, or it could be an open air truth. The 5 of Swords. And it's going to allow you to put your swords down. The Emperor. It's a truth about an Emperor energy. An imbalanced and unbalanced Emperor energy. And as I said, it could be you. Do I want to get anything else? I'm just going to get one from here. We've got the babushka dolls on the bottom. Hidden. Something hidden. Esther. That's a star. A hidden star. A 5-pointed star. Now, a 5-pointed Venus, when Venus actually goes around the Earth, it makes this flower pattern, a 5-petaled flower pattern. We've just come out of Taurus season. A 5-pointed star. Heart. Just get it all tied up. Now they're runes, which is something ancestrally is within my ancestry, and I have them because that's I took that photo. They're my runes, but I've not tapped into it yet. There's something you haven't tapped into yet. Anything else? It's hidden. Some hidden spiritual thing you haven't tapped into that's going to bring you happiness. Swan. Can you see? He's got his head smacked up against the wall. So either he can't move or he's refusing to see a truth. What else? There's a reset. There we go. That's it. That's the pattern. That's the pattern that Venus makes. Venus is Empress energy. It's divine feminine energy, not gender specific. It's tapping in to your intuition in order to set yourself free. Yeah, A to Z. The Great Reset. Z resets to an A. And again, you know, this is a printing box that I bought in 2011, but so many messages in it that align with what's happening at the moment. I just had to tap in. A thimble. You've been in a game. Key. I've said Paris holds the key to your heart. I'm going to give you one more and then I'm going to get the hell out of here. That's the Australian Army badge. You've been on a journey. That card actually came out in the previous reading. Your luck's about to change. Horseshoes are what people wear. This great reset, this 777 energy, this Wheel of Fortune energy is going to bring in some luck. People wear horseshoes on their wedding day, like a fabric horseshoe on their wedding day. Your luck is about to change. I've got the rose there. Okay, that's it. That's where I'm going to leave it. The key. Tapping in the shell. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave it. Otherwise, I'm going to pull 1,000 cards. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. As I said, part of a two-part reading. So go back and have a look at the first one. It might give you more context as to what's actually going on here. Otherwise, if you've gotten what you need from this reading, then that's fantastic. If it resonated with you, please give it a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. If you are called to any of my tarot or oracle decks, the links to those can be found in the description box. Any of the songs that I mentioned will also be linked in the description box. There might be more messages in the lyrics, the album cover, the artist, anything really, the music video. That's what I've got, and I will see you in another reading.